Step 1: The Art of Communication. Have you ever walked away from a conversation thinking, I should have said something better? Maybe it was during an interview where you forgot the perfect answer. Maybe it was an argument with someone you love. Maybe you wanted to introduce yourself to someone but fear held you back. Or perhaps you stayed silent while someone else confidently shared their thoughts, even though you knew your ideas were just as valuable. If you've ever experienced moments like these, this journey is for you. Communication is one of the most powerful skills anyone can develop. It can build friendships, strengthen relationships, create successful careers, and open doors that talent alone cannot. Most people think communication means speaking fluent English or using difficult words. That's not true. Communication is simply the ability to make another person understand your thoughts and feelings. The world's greatest communicators don't speak to impress people. They speak to connect with people. And connection is always more powerful than perfection. Think about the people you admire most. Whether they're leaders, teachers, entrepreneurs, or creators, they all share one ability: they know how to communicate with people. The good news is that communication is not a gift you're born with. It's a skill. And every skill can be learned. Imagine two people entering the same room. The first is highly intelligent but avoids eye contact, speaks nervously, and struggles to explain ideas. The second has average knowledge but smiles confidently, listens carefully, and speaks clearly. Who do you think people will remember? Most people will remember the second person. Why? Because people don't remember every word you say. They remember how you made them feel. That's one of the greatest secrets of communication. From today onward, stop asking yourself, how can I sound smarter? Instead ask, how can I make this person feel understood? That single question can transform every conversation you have. Communication doesn't begin when you start speaking. It begins when you start listening. Most people listen only to reply. Very few listen to understand. The people who truly listen become the people everyone enjoys talking to. So before learning how to speak better, learn how to listen better. Because the greatest communicators aren't the ones who talk the most. They're the ones who understand others the best. In the next chapter, you'll discover why most conversations fail and the invisible mistakes that silently destroy communication without people even realizing it. Step 2: Why most conversations fail. Have you ever wondered why some conversations flow naturally while others become awkward within minutes? The answer isn't intelligence. It isn't confidence. And it certainly isn't luck. Most conversations fail because people focus on themselves instead of the person standing in front of them. Think about the last conversation you had. Were you truly listening? Or were you secretly thinking about what you were going to say next? This is one of the biggest communication mistakes in the world. We listen to respond instead of listening to understand. Imagine talking to someone about a difficult day, but before you finish, they interrupt and start talking about themselves. How would that make you feel? Probably unheard. Now imagine another person who stays quiet, maintains eye contact, asks thoughtful questions, and lets you finish without interrupting. Who would you trust more? The second person. Because everyone wants to feel heard. Another reason conversations fail is fear. Fear of saying the wrong thing. Fear of being judged. Fear of rejection. Fear keeps millions of people silent every single day. But here's something important to remember. People are usually thinking about themselves far more than they're thinking about you. The mistake you're worried about will probably be forgotten in a few minutes. So don't chase perfection. Chase progress. Every conversation is practice. Every mistake is a lesson. Every new person you meet is another opportunity to improve. The next time you talk to someone, stop trying to impress them. Instead, become curious. Ask questions. Listen carefully. Smile naturally. And make the other person feel important. People may forget your words, but they'll always remember how they felt while talking to you. That's where real communication begins. Step 3: The power of asking the right questions. Have you ever met someone who could talk to anyone? They could walk into a room full of strangers and, within minutes, make everyone feel comfortable. Most people think they have a special talent. The truth is much simpler. They know how to ask good questions. Great communicators understand one important fact: people love talking about themselves, their experiences, and their dreams. Instead of trying to carry the entire conversation alone, they invite others to participate. Imagine meeting someone for the first time. Instead of asking, "What do you do?" ask, "What's something you really enjoy doing?" Instead of saying, "Tell me about yourself," ask, "What's been the most exciting thing that's happened to you this year?" These questions don't just start conversations. They create connections. But asking questions isn't enough. You have to genuinely care about the answers. When someone speaks, don't immediately think about your next question. Listen carefully. Pay attention to their emotions, not just their words. Notice how their face changes when they talk about something they love. Notice when their voice becomes quieter while discussing something painful. Communication isn't only about hearing words. It's about understanding feelings. Another powerful habit is remembering small details. If someone tells you they have an important interview next week, ask them later how it went. If they mention their birthday is coming soon, wish them. These small actions send a powerful message. I remember you. I care about what matters to you. And that's something people never forget. The strongest relationships aren't built through perfect conversations. They're built through consistent, meaningful ones. Every person you meet is carrying a story you'll never fully know. Approach people with curiosity instead of assumptions. The more interested you become in others, the more interesting you'll become to them. That's one of the greatest communication secrets you'll ever learn. Step 4: The secret language without words. Imagine meeting someone for the first time. Before you say a single word, they have already formed an opinion about you. How? Through your body language. Communication is much more than words. The way you stand, the way you walk, your facial expressions, your eye contact, and even your silence send powerful messages. Picture two people entering a room. The first person walks in with their head down, avoids eye contact, keeps their arms crossed, and speaks so softly that people struggle to hear. The second person walks in with relaxed shoulders, a genuine smile, steady eye contact, and a calm voice. Who appears more confident? Most people will naturally trust the second person, even before hearing what they have to say. This is why body language matters. A smile can make a stranger feel welcome. Eye contact shows confidence and respect. Standing straight tells people that you believe in yourself. But confidence doesn't mean acting like you're better than everyone else. Real confidence makes others feel comfortable, not intimidated. Your voice also plays a huge role. Don't rush your words. Speak slowly enough for people to understand you. Pause after an important point. Those few seconds of silence often have more impact than speaking continuously. And here's another powerful habit. Put your phone away when someone is talking to you. Nothing says, "You're not important," more than looking at a screen while someone is sharing their thoughts. Giving someone your full attention is one of the greatest compliments you can offer. Remember this. People hear your words, but they believe your actions. If your words say, "I'm happy to meet you," but your face looks bored, people will believe your face. Your body always tells the truth. So from today, don't just improve your vocabulary. Improve your presence. Because sometimes the strongest communication happens without saying a single word. Step 5: How to talk to anyone, anywhere. One of the biggest fears people have is talking to someone they don't know. Maybe it's a classmate you've never spoken to, a coworker on their first day, someone sitting alone at a cafe, or a stranger at an event. Most people stay silent because they believe they need the perfect opening line. The truth is, you don't. People don't remember perfect introductions. They remember genuine ones. A simple "Hi, how's your day going?" can begin a conversation that changes your life. The key is to keep it natural. Don't try to impress. Don't try to sound smarter than you are. Just be present. One of the easiest ways to start a conversation is by talking about your surroundings. If you're in college, ask about a class. If you're waiting in line, make a light comment about the situation. If you're at an event, ask what brought them there. People are usually much more open than we imagine. The biggest obstacle isn't other people. It's the stories we tell ourselves. They won't like me. I'll sound awkward. They're probably too busy. Most of these fears exist only in our minds. Even if a conversation doesn't go well, nothing terrible happens. You gain experience. And every conversation makes the next one easier. Another important habit is learning to accept silence. Many people panic when there's a few seconds of quiet and start talking just to fill the gap. But silence isn't your enemy. Sometimes a short pause gives both people time to think. It makes the conversation feel calm instead of rushed. Finally, remember this. Every person you meet knows something you don't. Every conversation is a chance to learn something new. Walk into every interaction with curiosity instead of fear. Because the people who grow the fastest aren't the ones who always have the best answers. They're the ones who never stop asking, listening, and learning. Step 6. How to handle difficult people in difficult conversations. No matter how good your communication skills become, you will eventually meet difficult people. Some will interrupt you. Some will criticize you. Some will misunderstand you. And some will simply refuse to listen. The biggest mistake you can make is reacting with emotion instead of responding with wisdom. Remember this. You can't control another person's behavior. You can only control your response. Imagine someone speaks to you with anger. Your first instinct may be to raise your voice and defend yourself. But anger almost never solves anger. Instead, take a deep breath. Pause for a moment. Then respond calmly. A calm voice has the power to lower the temperature of almost any conversation. Another important lesson is learning not to take everything personally. Sometimes people are rude because they're stressed. Sometimes they're tired. Sometimes they're dealing with problems you'll never know about. That doesn't excuse bad behavior, but it helps you understand that not every negative comment is truly about you. Great communicators also know when to stay silent. Winning every argument doesn't make you wise. Knowing which arguments are worth having does. Ask yourself, will this conversation matter a week from now? If the answer is no, protecting your peace may be more valuable than proving your point. Respect doesn't come from speaking the loudest. It comes from remaining respectful when others aren't. Finally, never confuse kindness with weakness. You can disagree without insulting. You can set boundaries without becoming rude. And you can stand up for yourself while still treating others with dignity. People may challenge your ideas. They may disagree with your opinions. But if you communicate with patience, confidence, and respect, you'll learn something far more valuable than winning an argument. You'll earn their respect. Because true strength isn't shown by how loudly you speak. It's shown by how calmly you can respond when life tests your patience. Step 7. The art of persuasion and building trust. Have you ever wondered why some people can inspire others so easily? They don't force people to agree with them. They don't shout. They don't argue endlessly. Instead, they earn trust. And trust is the foundation of persuasion. People rarely believe someone simply because they're intelligent. They believe people who are honest, consistent, and genuine. If your words and actions don't match, people notice. You might fool someone once, but trust is built through consistency. Another secret of persuasion is understanding before being understood. Before trying to change someone's opinion, first understand why they think the way they do. Ask questions. Listen carefully. Show that you respect their perspective, even if you disagree. When people feel respected, they become more open to your ideas. Stories are also far more powerful than facts alone. You can tell someone that hard work leads to success. Or you can share the story of someone who struggled for years before finally achieving their dream. Which one will they remember? Almost always, the story. Stories create emotions. And emotions make messages unforgettable. Another habit of great communicators is admitting when they're wrong. Many people think saying "I was wrong" makes them look weak. In reality, it makes them look honest and mature. No one trusts someone who pretends to know everything. People trust those who are willing to learn. Finally, never underestimate the power of appreciation. A sincere compliment. A simple thank you. Or telling someone, "I appreciate your help." These small words can strengthen relationships more than expensive gifts. At the end of the day, communication isn't about controlling people. It's about connecting with them. And when people trust you, respect you, and feel valued around you, your words naturally become more powerful. Because influence is never demanded. It's earned. Step 8. Communication in every situation. Learning to communicate isn't about becoming someone else. It's about becoming the best version of yourself in every situation. The way you speak to your parents shouldn't be exactly the same as the way you speak during a job interview. The way you talk to a close friend is different from the way you talk to a stranger. Great communicators understand this. They don't change who they are. They simply change how they express themselves based on the situation. When talking to your parents, remember that they don't always expect perfect answers. Most of the time, they simply want honesty. Instead of hiding your mistakes, admit them. People forgive honesty much faster than excuses. When talking to friends, don't just wait for your turn to speak. Celebrate their success. Support them during failure. A true friend is someone who listens without judgment and speaks without hurting. When speaking to strangers, always begin with respect. A smile, polite words, and genuine kindness can turn an uncomfortable moment into a meaningful conversation. In professional situations like interviews or meetings, confidence matters more than trying to sound perfect. If you don't know an answer, say so honestly. People respect honesty far more than fake confidence. One of the greatest communication skills is learning to stay calm under pressure. Anyone can speak politely when everything is going well. But your true character appears when you're disappointed, frustrated, or angry. Before reacting, pause. Take one deep breath. Ask yourself, will my next sentence solve this problem or make it worse? That one question can prevent countless arguments and broken relationships. Always remember this. Every person you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. Kindness costs nothing, but it can completely change someone's day. The words you choose today may stay in someone's memory for years. So choose words that encourage instead of discourage. Choose honesty instead of pretending. Choose understanding instead of judging. Because great communication isn't about winning conversations. It's about leaving people better than you found them. Step 9. The daily habits of great communicators. Communication is not a talent you master overnight. It's a habit you build every single day. Just like going to the gym strengthens your body, daily conversations strengthen your communication skills. The people you admire didn't become great communicators because they were lucky. They became great because they practiced consistently. Start with one simple habit. Talk to at least one new person every day. It doesn't have to be a long conversation. It could be a classmate, a shopkeeper, a colleague, or even your neighbor. Every conversation builds confidence. Another habit is reading. The more you read, the more ideas and words you collect. But don't read just to sound intelligent. Read to understand people, different perspectives, and different ways of thinking. Good communicators are lifelong learners. Pay attention to your vocabulary, but remember this. Simple words spoken with sincerity are far more powerful than complicated words used only to impress. Also, learn to observe. Notice how confident people stand. Notice how they smile. Notice how they pause before answering difficult questions. Notice how they make others feel important. Success leaves clues. Learn from those who communicate well. One powerful exercise is recording yourself while speaking. At first, it may feel uncomfortable. You might notice that you speak too fast, avoid eye contact, or use the same words repeatedly. That's okay. Improvement begins with awareness. Another important habit is accepting feedback. Don't become defensive when someone points out a mistake. Instead, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? The fastest learners are the people who are willing to improve. And finally, never stop being yourself. You don't need to copy someone's accent, personality, or style to become a great communicator. People connect with authenticity. Your voice, your experiences, and your story are unique. Use them. Because confidence isn't pretending to be someone else. Confidence is becoming comfortable with who you already are. The more you practice, the more natural communication becomes. One day, you'll realize you're no longer afraid to start conversations. You're no longer afraid to speak your mind. And that's the moment you'll understand that communication isn't just a skill. It's a lifelong journey that transforms every part of your life. Step 10. Your words can change your life. As we reach the end of this journey, remember one important truth. Communication is not about having the loudest voice in the room. It's about having the ability to touch another person's heart, mind, and emotions. Every great friendship begins with a conversation. Every successful business starts with an idea that someone was brave enough to share. Every strong relationship is built on honest communication. And every leader, teacher, entrepreneur, and creator changes lives because they know how to connect with people. Never underestimate the power of your words. One sentence can inspire someone to chase their dreams. One kind conversation can stop someone from giving up. One sincere apology can heal years of misunderstanding. One honest compliment can become a memory someone carries for the rest of their life. That's how powerful communication truly is. There will be days when you feel nervous. There will be conversations that don't go as planned. You will make mistakes. You will say the wrong thing sometimes. But don't let those moments stop you. Every great communicator has experienced awkward conversations, embarrassing mistakes, and moments of self-doubt. The difference is they didn't quit. They kept learning. They kept improving. They kept speaking. Remember this. Confidence doesn't come before action. Confidence comes because of action. The more conversations you have, the more comfortable you'll become. The more you listen, the wiser you'll become. The more you understand people, the stronger your relationships will be. Starting today, challenge yourself. Start one conversation you've been avoiding. Tell someone you appreciate them. Say sorry if you've made a mistake. Express your ideas without fear. Listen without interrupting. Speak with honesty. Treat every person with respect, no matter who they are. Because every person you meet has a story, a struggle, and a dream. If you can communicate in a way that makes people feel respected, understood, and valued, you won't just become a better speaker. You'll become a better human being. And in the end, that's what communication is really about. It's not about perfect words. It's about genuine connection. So go into the world with courage. Speak with kindness. Listen with patience. Learn with humility. And never stop growing. Your voice matters. Your story matters. Your words have the power to inspire, comfort, encourage, and change lives, including your own. Thank you for taking this journey. Now it's your turn. Go out, start the conversation, build meaningful connections, and let your communication become the bridge that leads you to the life you've always wanted. Step 11, Final Challenge, become the person people remember. Before you leave this journey, I want to give you one final challenge. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Starting today. For the next 30 days, become intentional about every conversation you have. When someone speaks to you, don't interrupt. Listen until they finish. When someone asks you a question, don't rush your answer. Think before you speak. When you meet someone new, smile first. Don't wait for them to make the first move. When someone makes a mistake, choose understanding instead of judgment. When someone succeeds, celebrate them instead of comparing yourself to them. When someone is struggling, offer encouragement instead of criticism. These actions may seem small. But small actions repeated every day create extraordinary results. One day you'll notice something amazing. People will start coming to you for advice. They'll enjoy talking to you. They'll trust you with their thoughts and feelings. Not because you became famous. Not because you became rich. But because you learned one simple skill, making people feel heard, respected, and valued. Always remember this. The most successful people in the world aren't always the smartest. They're often the ones who know how to connect with others. Your education may help you earn a living. Your communication skills will help you build a life. So never stop improving. Read more. Observe more. Listen more. Speak with purpose. And most importantly, stay humble. Because every conversation is an opportunity to learn something new. As you move forward in life, you'll forget many books you've read. You'll forget many videos you've watched. But you'll never forget the conversations that changed your life. And one day, if you practice what you've learned today, you may become the person whose words change someone else's life. So walk with confidence. Speak with kindness. Listen with empathy. Lead with honesty. And let every conversation become a chance to leave the world a little better than you found it. Thank you for listening. This isn't the end of your journey. It's the beginning of a new way of communicating, connecting, and living.